Hi everyone, it's day 25. It's the last day of Tarot Advent, and today I am doing a 9-card spread. I'm using the rest of the deck, and out of the 9 cards that were left, I chose a signifier, and I chose the 5 of Keys or Wands, which is struggle. And I chose it just because that's the reason why I chose this deck initially to do this VR, just because I wasn't really sure, and also struggle because just sometimes I just don't know what to do if I don't feel like things are not going well, or it's like if I don't need to fix something, or you know it is what it is right now, but I'm getting better. So I am doing I think the deck and I know each other well enough now to where I can just do like a past, present, future read. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm doing a 3x3. So the first column is the 5 of Shells or Pentacles, the 6 of Wands or Keys, and the 10 of Shells or Pentacles. And Hunger, Triumph, and Legacy. And I think the deck is just telling me that I was experiencing a lot of lack in a lot of different ways, and it's one thing to be aware of it, but another thing to really get to a point internally where you're seeing it and you're just no longer in that place. So there's that sense of triumph, of coming back to yourself more and more positively. And that sense of legacy is something that feeds into that idea of the 5 of Pentacles or hunger, because it was just something that I kind of worried about. I was just like, well, how is my life going to be gauged by other people? Or how am I even allowed to gauge the legacy of my own life? And I'm getting to the point now where I realize that it's that daily thing, like how we treat ourselves and how we treat other people as a whole. And if energy is never created nor destroyed, if you're leaving sort of like a net positive energy, so to speak, in the world, I think that's a really good legacy. Not to say that trust funds or setting future generations up for a sustainable earth or things like that isn't or aren't good ones. Of course they are, but I'm just not worrying about that as much anymore, because I feel like I've already left a trail in my life, and I think it's generally positive. And my present cards are 6 of Knives, New Chapter, which is the Swords, 2 of Shells, Pentacles, Harmony, and the Maiden of Cups, which is the Page of Cups, and Dreamer. So as a present stance, I really do feel like I am in a new chapter currently, but also just in the recent past. And I feel like that new chapter really hasn't ended. It's going to continue for a while. I am so much more looking for that harmony within. And I really like that 2 of Shells, that word of harmony is listed on the card. And to me, it looks like here that this person's holding cash. And I think it's that juxtaposition of knowing who you are, valuing who you are in many different ways, and harmonizing all those good parts and not so shiny parts. And the dreamer part of it, I really like that it's the Page, because I really tend to like downplay cups energy. Like a lot of people, like I've noticed just like in tarot decks, it's not the most like interesting suit. It's just kind of like, oh, it's the emotions, like, and everybody's just kind of like, you know, like they're not the creativity part of the cups, or the psychic like intuition liminal space of the cups, I think are not represented as well in tarot as they need to be. Emotions, I think we all know, are important, but the other aspects of the cups I don't think are represented. So I really like that dreamer part of it, because no matter what age we are, as the page, if you're a dreamer, like you're always kind of in that beginner's mind, and that's always like exciting. So I would say that's pretty accurate. And then the future, this is where my signifier showed up, which was at the top of the last column. And the way I'm reading these energies is like the first row, so the top, they're kind of like, they're highly, highly mutable and highly changeable. So it's like, what the deck is telling me is that I can choose, like I'm the one who chose this card. And so if you keep choosing this card, it's still going to show up in your future. I think that's why it showed up at the top. But I can also easily like decide to not do that and to like move it along and be like, I'm done with struggle. It's not that I'm done with being aware that like crazy things are going to happen throughout your life, but like I'm done with choosing struggle is what I think the deck is telling me. So and then the next one is the Ace of Wands, or Ace of Keys, which is illumination. And then the last one is the Crone of Keys, or visionary. So I usually take, so the Crone is the King of Wands. So I usually take these, like the bottom cards, as kind of like the anchor cards. And it's just so interesting, because I feel like struggle is just like, it can be in your future if you choose it to be in your future. And I choose not for it to be in my future, but just because I make the choice, like the commitment, you know, the practice of it every single day is a lot more difficult. But, you know, making the choice to put down the struggle bus, or you know what I mean, like put the struggle aside, I think is a good first step. So with the illumination and the visionary, I mean, this is exactly sort of what I'm looking for. Like I am ready to have like 1 to 2 goals that I'm really sort of like focusing on. They're not huge, massive, you know, like trying to like, you know, earth-shattering kind of things. They're pretty reachable. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So I'm just getting more comfortable with choosing the things that I want to do, and knowing that it's going to take time and that it's not going to be perfect. And so that sense of like clarity and illumination is such a good word. It's much more than clarity. It's I feel like illumination is like you hit that clarity point, but it like continues. It's like lighting up other parts of your life too. It helps you see other parts of your life better. And then the last one is visionary. So there's only 2 court cards in the last 9 and no majors. So I feel like this deck is saying, let's get all the big stuff. I mean, the Tower, I think I pulled on day 4, you know, it's like, let's get all this like heavy stuff out of the way, and let's just, you know, let's just do something a little gentle but encouraging. Visionary, definitely. Like, I feel like the cups should also really show that visionary part, because like in Western astrology, I'm a Pisces sun and an Aries rising. And like, I feel like a lot of times those two energies cancel each other out. But now I'm seeing a lot more of how alchemically fire and water can work together. So the visionary for me is definitely like, I feel like maybe it's just the neurospiciness, or just, you know, some of us, like I've been told, I have one foot in another world anyway. And I think when you're when you go through life and certain things happen and you have to figure things out before, like for yourself, which, okay, most of us do. It's like you're an outsider looking in, but once you do that, you the way you think really changes. I mean, I met people I never thought I would meet in the last 15 years. And it helped me think in many different creative ways, and it helped expand what my potential is as well. So this is definitely something that I want to take into the future. And I think the more and more I act on things like doing this project, the more I embody this adjective, visionary, noun. So yeah, those are the last 9. And just a few last thoughts about the whole, about this VR. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Some days I was just like, ugh, I don't want to do it, you know, and I was like, why can't I just have it to where I can just show my cards, but my little stick things, I can't think of words right now, weren't working, and I was just like, ugh, okay. So, and then just like having to like tape and retape, you know, but then also doing that, which is a part of this practice, it got easier. Like once there were a couple of days when I had to like refilm a couple of times just because I didn't like what I was saying, or I didn't get everything that I wanted out, or it was like too long, or whatever it was. Just ripping off that Band-Aid and doing it 3 or 4 times and still putting it out, even though it's like still pretty not great. You know, it still looks like a first take, but it just made me feel like accomplished, I think. And also with the Tower card, I think it was just really interesting that there were no majors here for the last 9 cards. And up until now, I was thinking I'm just going to put the Tower card back in, but you know what? I'm not going to, because the Tower card showed up really early in this exercise, and it didn't change as I was going throughout the days and life was happening, whatever. It wasn't like I missed that Tower card, you know? So I feel like this deck is nuanced enough and scalable enough and flexible enough to to work with, at least me personally, without the Tower card right now. And I might introduce it later. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, for now, I think I'm actually pretty surprised by this decision. I will not include it, and I'll just get to know her more without the Tower. So anyways, I really enjoyed this, and hearing and watching what you guys have done as well. And I look forward to continue interacting and cardomancying with everyone. Okay, talk to y'all soon. Bye.